Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I'm your host, Dylan Charisma, here as always, and today I'll be bringing you my Assault Mode deck profile for the Link format. Yeah, Link format. This was more relevant in the last, I want to say, ban list with the last format where it was just pendulum summons. I mean, it was alright. But unfortunately, um, Link monsters have come out and kind of messed up the meta. So, um, I mean, I don't necessarily hate them. I just think, first of all, Firewall needs to be hit. Um, it's rare that I hate a card enough to ban it, and I think this is an example of that. So I'm gonna say put it to 1, maybe 2. Um, there just shouldn't be any Link monster, whatever, that can target half the possible areas. I mean, that's all at once. It's just, no, no. And not with the way other people can kind of build onto that by using their other Link monsters pointing different directions. It's just terrible. Anyway, first of all, I like to run 3 copies, as I'd assume everybody is who's running this deck, of Assault Beast. With 1900 attack points, he's an amazing beat stick, and he searches out our Assault Mode activate by discarding him uh, anywhere throughout the deck, and it's just an amazing way to add it to your hand super early. Next up, I didn't see anybody running this card because I like to just make sure that my decks aren't net decking anybody and that they're original. Which is why it will say All Out Assault, WIP, meaning work in progress, because I don't like the thought of anybody accusing me of net decking, and I don't net deck myself. So there's that. Um, I like to run 3 copies of Assault Mercenary. Reason for it. To put it simply, it's just it's a walking MST. I mean, what more can you really ask for, you know? Basically, the way it works is, once per turn, you can take an Assault Mode activate, rejuvenate it, and by that I mean take it from hand or grave, throw it into your deck, shuffle, pop Spell Trap. Do note, this includes Pendulum monsters, which is why I say it was relevant, back in that format when they were first introduced at the beginning of Arc 5 and whatnot. I think it's a pretty good card. You don't have to run it. I know a lot of people don't. I just really like it because, in addition to that, it's an amazing beat stick, and you can search it out with Rhoda. Moving on, we have one of the main cards, I would say, in the deck. This is basically just what's gonna start basically all your combos. That card is, of course, the Blackwing Ill. Blackwing something, Gale, Illwind, something like that. Bear with me. Alright. Let me see. Here it is. Blackwing, Decay the Illwind. There you go. This is a rank 4 tuner monster. Basically, the way this card works is, what I like to do is, hang on, let me just go ahead and pop it out for you guys. That way you can have a visual representation of a good combo I like to use. First of all, I see some people running one copy. Well, a few people running one copy. Most people running two. I prefer 3 Mystic Tomato. It's amazing. It searches out all your cards that you need for a Dark Monster 1500 or less attack and face-up attack position. On the second turn, if they're popping, say you go first, you summon Tomato, or you set it, or whatever, and you discard your Assault Beast to get out your Assault Mode activate. Throw that face down, as well as Mystic Tomato, of course. In your turn, they summon out whatever magical, unbelievable. I'm not even gonna go there. Just their whatever they summon. Just whatever they summon, and they of course we're just gonna assume they only summon one. They pop this, and you can summon another one if you really wanted to, and then they pop another one. You get your third. They pop the third one. You get this card, which is Blackwing. Uh, which is your Blackwing Tuna Monster. I like to use it to go into Archfiend. It's an amazing card. It really is. So there's its effects right now. If you want to go ahead and read that, pause the video and read it. Once returned during the end phase, sent to the graveyard, take 1000 damage. When it's normal or special summoned, you can target a Blackwing, but forget that because you're not going to be using that. We don't run Blackwings in this deck except for this. Next up is 3 copies yet again of White Dragon Wyverburster. Once you have your tomatoes in the graveyard, you just banish that and then special summon this because you gotta banish one dark monster from your grave. Can't be special summoned any other ways, and it can only be summoned once per turn this way. When it leaves the field in any manner, attack, attack destruction, card destruction, synchro summoning, XYZ, material detachment. As long as it was on your field originally before it got sent to the grave, you get its effect, which helps you search out Collapse Serpent, which is another card we're using 3 copies of in this deck because of how insanely useful it is. It's basically just the opposite version of this. It's basically the same thing, only can't be special summoned any other way, except for banishing one monster of the light element from your graveyard into your banish zone. Special summon it, only can special summon one per turn. And then when it leaves the field, it's basically GG because you get another Wyverburster. And the combo continues and continues and continues and loops and knots around the tree and everything until your opponent just is hanging around a noose because of all the circles you'll be running around them with all these combos that you can pull off. It's one of the reasons I like this deck actually. It is very consistent. It's one of its pros of it. Cons is it's sadly not that meta anymore. I've lost not quite a few, but I've lost a few games with it. I think I've lost 5 games and gone like 10-5, which is not good. Okay, it's not the best record for it, but I mean I did beat somehow Zoo once. I think that's because they didn't know how to use Zoo, but I mean, what matters is I somehow beat it. Apparently Herald of Perfection is still a running thing in existence, because I faced someone playing that. Dino decks need to, excuse the pun, the Dino decks need to go. Dino, oh man. Oh man, oh man. Oh my god, the dinosaur decks need to just go extinct. Time for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ice Age. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll try not to sound so stupid from now No promises though. Be ready to phone me up for your money back guarantee. Wow, I'm having way too much fun with this. Next up, I like to run 3 copies. Oh, crap, spelled it wrong. Of Vylon Prism. This is the tuner monster you use to go into Stardust Dragon. Essentially the way this works is you'd use the spell Instant Fusion, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the video, and you'll summon your fusion monster or just whatever, or have your tomato summon still out in the field. Summon this, and then you go into your plays with Stardust, maybe Archfiend, depending on what you want to do with it. It's all up to you. I mean, it really is. When it's sent from the monster card zone to the graveyard, meaning by battle, card effect, just really anything, it allows you to pay 500 to equip it to a monster that's face up on your field, gains 1k during the damage step. So, yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how clutch this card comes in sometimes. So, yeah, that's why I'm running that. And for the last of the just main monster pack in general, we have 3 copies of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. The way this works is, it's, like I said, it's the exact opposite of White Dragon Wyvern Burster. Can't be normal summon a set, it can only be special summon with its ability. Banish 1 light monster from your graveyard, and special summon it. You can only special summon 1 copy of this card per turn. When it is removed from the battlefield, you search out Wyvern Burster, add it to your hand. So, like I said, it's just the exact polar opposite to Wyvern Burster. And this will wrap up the monsters. Of course, we still have the 6 cards I'm actually running for Assault Monsters. We have 3 copies of Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. The reason we run this is just because I just think it's genuinely a better Archfiend. And that's basically it. Speaking of which, we also have Red Dragon Archfiend, Assault Mode, who we are yet again running 3 copies of, in addition to Stardust Dragon. I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly read over the effects for you. It can only be special summoned by Assault Mode Activate, so you Synchro Summon Stardust Dragon, activate Assault Mode Activate, which you saw at the beginning of the video, and then you can summon this from anywhere, basically, from your graveyard. No. Wait, really? No, I think it's just from your deck. It does not have to be in your hand, so you can use a spell that I'm just a few moments away from getting into, to go ahead and just shuffle this back in the deck if you have it and you don't want it, you don't need it, whatever. Draw 2 cards, it's their own product, greed. And that's basically the skim of it. You sacrifice your Stardust, activate by activating your Assault Mode Activate, and you special summon this, and it's the same thing, only with Red Dragon Archfiend for Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode. Moving on to the spells now. We have 2 copies of Instant Fusion. The reason I'm running this card is just because there's going to be times where you cannot rely on taking a nice, passive, sort of, in a way, almost pacifistic approach to it. You're going to have to get your cards out fast. You're going to have to start acting fast before they get cards like Firewall or whatever that can just shut you down. This, the way it works is you pay 1,000 life points and special summon a level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, but it cannot attack and is also destroyed during the end phase. It's treated as a fusion summon though, and you can only activate 1 copy of it per turn. This is basically just if you don't have anything else that you have on your field, you activate that and you summon 1 of your 2 tuna monsters, go into Stardust, go into Archfiend, whatever you want to do about it, and just go from there. Next up, I'm running 3 copies of Assault Teleport. I've seen people run 1 copy, I've seen some people run 2. Well, most people run 2. I think I even saw 1 or 2 people not run it at all. Right, just like they didn't run it whatsoever. I think you should, because it's basically the Assault monster archetype's Pot of Greed. You turn it to the top of your deck from your hand, shuffle, draw 2 cards, or maybe it is you just put it back on top of the deck, draw 2 cards. I've been looking at the ruling, but the ruling that I looked up, as well as what the judge and most of the players told me that I played against when asking about this, because I like to deliver reliable information and combos. They don't seem to have a general consensus on how this card's used in conjunction with returning an Assault Mode monster. So if any of you know that, please do leave it in the comments. I promise you I'll read it and I'll even respond to you. And I just really think you need to run it. It's basically a Pot of Greed. Why not? Next up, we are running 2 copies of our, what was it? Wasn't it Twin Twister? Yeah, Twin Twisters. Basically, the way this works is you discard 1 card, and then target up to 2 spell trap cards in the field and destroy them. This is basically to replace MST and Dust Tornado. This is what you would use to get rid of basically anything. Really. You get rid of your tuners or your Collapse Serpents you don't need to remove and special summon Wyra Burster. The exact opposite to get Collapse Serpent. And it, in the process, pops 2 spell traps on your opponent's field. If you really wanted to, you could even discard something in your hand that you have but you don't need, or whatever the case may be. It's just so good that, as you see at the last moment, I even pumped it up to 3. Moving on, that is actually it for the spell cards I run in this deck. I like to run 2 copies of, first of all, I like to run 2 copies of Magic Cylinder. The reason for this is just, it's not as good as Mirror Force because it does target, but at the same time, it's still a very, very, very good trap because of how useful it is, especially at certain times when you're going on and you're about to die, you reverse the tables, possibly win in some conditions. It's just amazing. In addition to that, I'm running 3 copies of Mirror Force. I've always ran Magic Cylinder and Mirror Force in my deck. This is usually the exact ratio I go with, 2 to 3, just because it's, I mean, it really is such an amazing, absolutely amazing card. And then you also are going to be running one bottomless trap hole, one divine judgment, not divine judgment, my bad. And then hello, if you don't want to lag on me, that'd be great. Thank you. Let me see. Oh yeah. My divine. Oh my God, sorry. It is solemn judgment. Solemn judgment. No, nope. Still the wrong card for real. Solemn warning. Solemn warning. Thank you. Finally, my brain caught up with my mouth. Or my mouth caught up with my brain. I don't know. They both seem to be malfunctioning at this point. It's just, I don't think I need to explain it. The reason that it's limited to one is because it's such great cards. And finally, 3 copies of the main card of the deck. And what sets up everything? Assault Mode Activate. This is just what really helps get those amazing monsters out and helps you win your games. I don't usually believe in side decking just because I genuinely don't feel the need to. I don't agree with the concept of it, honestly. Because to me that comes off kind of like setting. But, I mean, if you want, you can. I'll probably just go ahead and add some in. Right now, like for an example, some Effect Veiler, just 3 Effect Veiler, 2 Maxi, and that's really all I'd recommend you run. Do you have to? I mean, of course not, but there isn't that many cards I would exchange anyway. If you want to, you could go with Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit and some other things, but personally, I just feel that this is good enough. For the extra deck, you're running 2 copies. If it will allow me to get it out. Okay, fine, let's just go by the attribute. It's dark. Let me see, there we go. You're running 2 copies of Dark Fire Dragon. This is what you use with Instant Fusion. Only 2 copies because we're running 2 copies of Instant Fusion. And the rest is actually pretty simple. We're running 3 Stardust Dragon, 3 Red Dragon Archfiend, and in addition to that, I guess if you want to take some cards out and add more, you can, but I just don't personally see the real benefit in it, honestly. Other than that, I mean, that's really all you need. I mean, yeah, you could go with more, but I mean, I'm sorry if that's just This just isn't really. There's not much that you really need. Let me see. Let's just go ahead and see if I could go ahead and add just something. Let's see if something pops up in mind. Let me see. You have your 3 Stardust. You have your 3 Red Dragon Archfiend. I guess you could run Gustav Max if you wanted to. But other than that, I think that will just about do it for this. I think that'll just about do it for this deck profile. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not even gonna bother asking for a like or sharing, subscribe, because to me this is honestly more of a fun hobby slash pastime than it is a chore, to the point where I'm willing to clickbait and screw my friends over just for like what, 2 pennies? But I mean, really, 2 cents. I mean, what's more important, your moral code or 2 cents? Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Dylan Christmas, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.